What's up? Welcome back. Another episode. We're back in the garage. Another night of trying to get things done. So let's jump right into it. All right, guys. Another beautiful, cool night here in Texas. It's starting to be awesome. I can't wait. Hopefully it stays like this for a little bit, like nice actual fall weather. But we're back in the garage. We got the laser going on. And as you can see behind me, we got the trailer open. Got the AC running, just trying to keep the bugs out. So that curtain helps out a lot with that. And we are starting to actually get ready for the race. Yeah, still trying to decide if I want to run 2 classes or just one. I don't think I have any of my Mudboss stuff ready. If not, I would take it. But I haven't drove those things since the Mudboss shootout. So they are due for me to start taking them out and start practicing with them, but unfortunately we're just not there yet. So let's see what we got going on in the trailer. We'll go from there. Meanwhile, Laser's still doing work, pumping out those plaques. So we're just trying to stay ahead of the game here. All right, so we're back in the trailer here. We are getting our sprint ready. This is actually a very special sprint car for me. This is actually Silky's old sprint car. So we put it together when we started running it. Had some issues like traditional Silky stuff. Wheels start coming off, just, you know, maintenance and stuff. But after that, it's been a really good car. I'm not really sure why I took the motor out of it. So we are back to putting the motor back in, put the transponder back in. And after that, it really should be good, just a good once over. That feels good. I know I just went through it, so it should be good. I'm not really sure why I took the motor out, but I did. So we're gonna go ahead and put the motor in, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys. So we made some progress on the car. We went ahead and chose our power plant for the next weekend, and we opted to go with a 10.5. So there you go. We got a nice little 10.5 modified motor from Power Products. I was really thinking about putting a 13.5 in it to run with the open class. But I did put a 10.5 in it. Should be enough power for at least for the first round. One of the biggest things that I've been learning here recently, like my late model, I've been running 13.5 in it. It is juiced up, meaning we threw some timing at her in the ESC. A good buddy of mine says if the solder doesn't come off, you're good. So we send it. That's what we did. But in all honesty, we geared it, and then, you know, we'll do temps after the race. We're right there at the 190 or 200 degrees. So we're going to continue to run it. And the reason I'm doing that is just trying some things is, you know, you see a lot of people who have cars and they hit the gas and it's just instant power. I mean, that's good for a high bike track. Like high bike, because you know it's going to be there for the most part, right? Even then, it might be too much, and then it's really hard on all your drivetrain and stuff. But what I've kind of noticed is if you underpower it and you're able to use the whole full throw of the trigger, meaning you can use the whole power bank, like the motor, instead of like being in such an instant where they're just now some people out there, some wheelmen, they can do that. Not your boy here. No, sir. We need all the traction control we get. So that means we're gonna lower gear, and then we're gonna throw some turbo timing in it, maybe a little boost, but only if, you know, if we feel like it's gonna take it. And for the most part, the little 13.5 from Power Products that we put in there, it's been a really nice motor, and it's been taking a lot of abuse. So I did reach out to Mark and get some more motors, but I know, from my understanding, he's been sick here lately, so, you know, our prayers are with him. Hopefully it gets better and stuff like that. So, but no, yeah, very good stuff. Power Products, and, you know, we appreciate them being part of our program here for the last couple of years. Not only that, they always sponsor, help support racetracks and races and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. It's been a really blessing to be able to run these motors. So that's where we're at. We'll put a 10.5 in it. Also had to throw a transponder in it. I'm hoping my transponders work. Now we're gonna be driving out there for no reason and just be a cheerleader and head back home. So More parts came in for the trailer that we'll talk about later in the part 2 of the video. But right now we're trying to get this sprint car ready to go. I'm going to throw a setup in it, spur and a pinion, and then I think, from my understanding, it kind of looks like the track is a little dusty in the beginning. It might be some grip towards the end, so we're gonna kind of stick with our basic setup here, and if we need to make adjustments, we'll adjust accordingly. Go from there. Object is to get there in time to do a little bit of practice, especially with the sprint car, and go from there. So trying to wrap this night up, throw the door up, turn the lights off, and go inside and get some rest. Victor's got some football tomorrow, so it's now or never. Or if not, we're going to be really pushing it on Friday to get ready. So let's finish this up, just wrap this car up, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys, so let's talk a little bit about setup here. All right, guys, so let me kind of be disclaimer here and be transparent, right? I've always said this is what I'm doing, and this is my thought process, and this is how I learn. So what I'm about to tell you is what I'm thinking and what I want to do, because obviously around here, as much as people say we want to do loose dirt, there's not much loose dirt around here, and there's a lot of bite, a lot of grip in these tracks. Now, from what I see over there, it's going to be a little bit dusty, and looking at some photos, it looks like the grip comes in later, just like any track, depending on the how prep goes, and I'm sure that they'll do their best they can, and how many entries and how many cars are on the track. So to try to set us up for a decent qualifying, because look at what happened last time. We only got to run one because it got rained out, and luckily with the late model stuff we did somewhat decent, and with the midget, so they count. Yeah, you can say if you're going out to race to throw one away, you're starting off in a bad spot. So this is what we're going to do to the front suspension of the car, because it is loose dirt, and I don't want to depend on soft springs, and because it will help in weight, right? But when you start doing that in the car, I from the past, yes, you're guaranteed grip, but it also makes the car really wavy and unsteady sometimes especially if you're gonna throw more power at it. So we're gonna stay with the red springs all around, and we're gonna add droop on the front side to help transfer the weight if needed. And then if we need some more, or we need less, a little bit less, we'll do the adjustments with the wing. But this is for the initial start, so just bear with me. Like I said, this is what I want to try to set myself up. We're not gonna go too drastic, so we don't get ourselves way off, but try to help us out a little bit. We want the car to do most of the work. Anytime you have to make adjustments with wing and stuff, you're compensating for something. Granted, that's what it's there for, but you want the car to do most of the work. You want to do your homework. You want to do your setup here at the shop. Give yourself a chance. So this is what I'm doing. So what I've done here is basically just lowered the shock mounting height down one hole, and then go up about two to three turns. This is just right now, right? Once we get the car set up, but the battery on it, tires on it, we'll put it on a setup board and check our ride height. But then what they'll do is when it accelerates, we raise the car initially, so then we lower it back down. So then whenever you go on throttle, it should help transfer weight to the back, thus helping transfer grip. So you gotta understand too, it kind of works both ways. Now that the car raises up, when you come into that turn, the further down it's gonna do, so it's also gonna kind of help increase some steering. But that's why you only make small adjustments, and then you try to, you're compensating with the wing, but it's what it's there for, right? But you want to try to get as much as you can with the car, and then use the wing for fine adjustment. Whenever you start cranking down on springs a whole bunch, and then you start running different colors on springs, and you start moving the wing aggressively, you're compensating for something that the car can't do. And ultimately, you might nail it, but it's gonna wedge the car up pretty good, and then it's gonna be a little bit rough. But you know what I'm saying? There's some wheelmans out there, and your boy, the vision's gone, hands, starting to shake a little bit. So, but in all honesty, that's what I'm doing. We're pretty much done here with the car. We're gonna put the sprint body back on in. We got tires already glued up from the past weekend. We got plenty of selection of tires that we can use, and if we need to glue some more, we can. So that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for today. Yeah, I'm really excited. People have been I'm really liking what the guys are doing over there. From what I see, people are asking to put midgets in and stuff, which I'll run midget. Hell, I'll run Mudboss. My stuff ain't ready. I know the sprint car will be a little bit closer. Plus, I need to drive it. So, unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to participate in a Mudboss deal. I'd really like to try a shot at and be invited next year, but there's always next year, right? But I really like what they're doing. They're sticking to their guns. This is what we're running, making a nice, quick program. We're looking forward to that. As much as I like to hang out with people, we also like to be home. And we got a lot of things to do here at the house, as you can see. So, yeah, that's what we got going on for today. A big shipment of acrylic finally got here. We bought some more wood so we can do the rest of the trophies. So we have a lot of things to do, but we also have, I want to go share the love, try out our new track, and go from there. Hopefully we can make some good content. So that's it for tonight. Let me know what y'all think. I appreciate y'all hanging out. I know I'm kind of knocking these videos out, and maybe later on I'll disappear for a while, but we're here now and we're trying to make the best of it. We got plenty of upgrades we want to do in the trailer, so hopefully the content doesn't end. And there's a lot of things I've always been wanting to do, and hopefully we'll get around to it. So that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you this weekend. Peace.